Hi, welcome back to the channel. My thoughts aren't all together on this. I'm kind of making this video more to try and arrange them and how I feel and what I think about things myself. You know, this is not a particularly coherent video, but basically it's in response to Haas confirming again their lineup for next year, including Nikita Mazepin. Obviously, outcry in the community, wishing that some sort of action or other would be seen to be happening. A lot of us would have been hoping, obviously, that Haas would have gone for another lineup for another driver instead, be it Callum Ilott or Pietro Fittipaldi or someone, basically anyone almost. But I think in the cold light of dawn, we've got to really appreciate the fact that Haas at this point in proceedings were probably not going to get rid of Nikita. Many reasons for this. One being his dad is pumping an estimated 35 million apparently into the team for next year, and he did apparently at least have an eye towards buying the team. And Gene Haas has been saying for a while that he was looking at getting rid of it, and it looks like unfortunately he found a partner who was willing to share it with him, the cost of it with him, and now that's very much blown up in everyone's faces. If Haas are in bed with Mazepin to that kind of money, 5-10 million, there's a lot of drivers who could potentially bring that kind of budget to the team. 35 million, you could run an entire IndyCar squad for less than that. You know, that is a huge amount of budget. Haas, I think, are racing with a total of about 140 million currently, and Gene Haas is having to try and find the balance of that. So 35 million off that with an eye towards further in the future is massive, and that's part of the problem. We're not talking small amounts here. This is big amounts. I'm not gonna talk at length about the effect of him being in the paddock and it having on females and in the air paddock and whatever, quite simply because I feel with all the female content creators there are out there currently, and the female fans as well, it is a subject that they can better explain than I can. Beth F1 put out a very good video not long after this whole thing blew up, so I thoroughly recommend going and watching hers. I'll probably leave a link to it or thing for it in the comments. But as we proved during November is Women Motorsport Month, there's a lot of female content creators out there now, and on Twitter there's a lot of female fans as well, so there's plenty of places to go for a female point of view to this. But obviously I think what's alarmed me the most is the amount of men that have come to Nikita's defence, and it is always men. Let's not sort of try and sugarcoat it. There's a lot of old school Neolithic, there's multiple arguments that get thrown up. One is always about the money, and as we've touched on, that's tricky because it isn't just a small amount, it's a substantial amount. And Haas having to get everything ready for a new racing season next year are not going to be able to find that amount of money very quickly. But beyond the money itself, there's the contract itself, where if it's signed, well, how do you get out of a signed contract with a multi-billionaire who's going to have lawyers who will completely steamroll at you, when the FIA and Formula One haven't come out and said that Nikita's actually done anything wrong. And this is the problem I think Haas have got, is that they're not getting... No one in the business has come out and sort of said... Formula One hasn't come out and said, look, we don't want Nikita racing because his actions have brought the sport into disrepute. And because them and the FIA haven't brought this up, the Haas are kind of backed into a corner contractually, as they can't sort of say, well, he's damaged the reputation, because the sport itself hasn't said that. Not strongly enough. There's a limit to what they can do, because if they give him a race ban or a couple of race ban, he's still their driver, he's still going to be racing for them. If they suspend his pay, he's the son of a multi-billionaire. Exactly what difference is that going to make to him? So, I've tweeted the Haas Twitter thing and bombarded it with "We say no to Mazepin" as much as the next person. But I don't actually know what they can do. This is another reason why I wouldn't want to be in their shoes. But still, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as a lot of other people are concerned, Haas is a one-car team for next year. Other reasons that people have given, was what would James Hunt think, and I bet he was glad that there wasn't video cameras and stuff around in his day. Well, people should not be comparing social standards now to those of the 70s. There were a lot of things which were accepted in the 70s that aren't accepted now, like drivers dying in fireballs by the sides of tracks while the races continued. So comparing anything now to stuff that happened in Formula One in the 70s, not really a done thing. That is not the hill you want to sort of defend. I know that's not the actual full statement, but I'm old. Give me a break. Other ones are like, Formula One drivers are supposed to be there because they're talented at driving, not because of political things. And it's like, yeah, but the people we see in them cars are role models for other people. People want to be like them. With the increase in social media and stuff that's going on, people have more of an interest in the ins and outs, the lifestyle, the choices, what people believe in the drivers than they used to have. So therefore it is important that the people sitting in them cars have beliefs that, no one is perfect, people do make mistakes. But let's not mess about here on this one. What Nikita did, even if you believe the apology from the girl saying that, her and Nikita are friends, even if you believe that, what he did was incredibly stupid and dangerous and potentially promoting sexual abuse, because there's nothing in the video to say that's a joke or that there was some understanding between them. What he did was, unsolicited, turned round and grabbed her. Anyone watching that, he is basically validating that as being acceptable behaviour. And that's it, and its best light. Yet people think that's okay. And the real worry is, that's what he considered acceptable to post on social media. So what has he done that he doesn't consider acceptable to post on social media? This is just the tip of the iceberg, and that's the problem. All this is done, and all Haas getting him to delete his social media has done, has meant that the next time he goes out, he's just going to do stuff and not record it. A dangerous position to be in. Anyone who has come out on social media in support of him, as one girl on Twitter said, I can't remember which one it was, Nikita is not going to see you defending him. The only people who are going to see you defending him are girls you're friends with, girlfriends, sisters, parents potentially. You are just advertising that you are not someone that people are going to want to be friends with, that you have ideas which are significantly out of date and out of step with modern times. You are not doing yourself any favours by being supportive of him. Really, no. So it's not the Haas social media person's fault that we're in this situation. It's not the people in the team's fault. There's a decision made at upper level because they needed the money. If they need the money that badly that they're having to get in bed with Nikita Mazepin and Nikita Mazepin, then that is a bit of a worrying snapshot of the state of the sport in general. The fact that they can't get out of that situation is even more worrying. As I said to Haas on Twitter, and I think I shall probably have as the title of this video, getting someone to delete their social media in the hope that everyone forgets about it is not dealing with it. We say no to Nikita Mazepin. Thank you for watching.